Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back in with this week's update and all the physical releases coming to the Switch, June the 5th until the 9th. Let's jump straight in. Loop 8 Summer of Gods is releasing this week, if you didn't get it already, because you may have noticed online and also in the Spotlight section, people have been getting this game delivered weeks in advance, which is kind of crazy. Unfortunately, this game got utterly mullered in critical reviews, with most saying it's all talk but not living up to its promise. Obtusely done. Maybe they didn't realize it's certainly a visual novel storytelling game first, RPG second, but I don't know, I didn't read them all. Either way, it's a damn shame because this was one of the games I was very excited for when it was first announced. But who knows, maybe audiences will enjoy it more than critics. I await your opinion on it. I know executive producer Alexander Kato is still hopeful because it's his pick of the week. And if you want to take the risk and order this, and you're in North America and want to pick up any of the retail games in this episode, please check the links in the description and the pinned comment. You can buy from Video Games Plus to supporters at the same time. Remember, they have worldwide free shipping over $80 Canadian. And anyone who buys something with our links each week, they will be put into a draw to win a $10 discount coupon. And this week's winner is Harlan M. Congratulations, you'll get an email from VGP in the coming days with your discount coupon. And yeah, congratulations, thank you for your support. Cozy Grove is getting its retail release this week. I mentioned this before since it was done by I Am 8-Bit. I don't believe it's getting a release in Europe, at least not for the moment. This appears to be an Animal Crossing game, but with ghosts, which, to be honest, is what my Animal Crossing island is going to be looking like these days. It's been years since I visited. They're probably all dead by now. But anyways, are you cozy enough? I don't think there's been enough cozy games these past few months. The end of last year was so cozy I was suffocating. Well, now I'm able to breathe again, and I don't like it. I need to be constricted by a snug, cuddly snake. And this may be the way to go if you need that. And our executive producers God of Resin, Jennifer M, Parsnip Coffee and Raven Knight have chosen this as their pick of the week. Raiden 3 Cross Mikado Maniax is finally getting its Western physical release. It's been out in Asia with English for a good while now. Well, this is the remix of a classic shooter, so I've heard. I can't tell you anything about the Raiden games aside from I'm not sure how to say it. Raiden, tomato, yogurt, shut up you moron, of course it's pronounced yogurt, however you like to say it. I think shooter fans will be excited about this one, although I think there is a package coming later in this episode that may be a little bit more exciting to some of you, so stay tuned for that. And as our executive producer Punky Dooster, Alex M and Instacritic have chosen this as their pick of the week. Alright, the Low Prince, Tokoyo, the Tower of Perpetuity is Red Dot Games' latest Switch release. I finally said that. I don't know if there's some copyright on the city of Tokyo, but this name hardly flows off the tongue. This is a 2D action game with a gimmick. No, not the little mascot limited runner currently trying to flog. I mean, it's got a unique mechanic in that the dungeon changes every 24 hours in real time. You play it today, it's one thing. You play it tomorrow, it's another. It's a game that you return to on a daily basis, like Animal Crossing, but instead of pulling turnips, you're murdering innocent fox girls. Sounds brilliant. I've got to be honest, I'm not overly enamored by the description nor the trailer. It looks a bit too indie game from 15 years ago, but I've heard players enjoy it, and that's what's important. They know more than me. You can pre-order this exclusive deluxe edition from Red Dot Games, which comes with a cover sleeve and stuff, with the links in the description, which also helps supporters. Plus, you can get 10% off with SwitchWatch 10, or you can get the North American version via Video Games Plus. You get a pre-order bonus CD, which is always welcome, and links are below for that too, and thanks for your support as always. And our executive producer Cartoon Soren has chosen this as his pick of the week. Buddy Simulator 1984 is going up for pre-order from Limited Run Games on Tuesday. This is one of those games where the game description doesn't want to tell you jack, or it's trying to pretend it's something it's not. It's one of those games you have to play yourself to experience. Expect mild horror rather than like a cutesy thing that it's trying to imply. I don't know what to say. This is what happens when you lie to me, smug PR people. And our executive producers Precision Plague and Thorn Metal Luna, their pick of the week. The Good Life is Limited Run's other game this week. Not sure why they're suddenly distributing a 1970s British sitcom starring a boring middle-class bloke and his annoyingly hot wife, but that company would do anything for money. Oh wait, it's a game from the same mind as Deadly Premonition. And just as with that game, this was hardly loved by critics. That's despite the premise sounding really awesome. You're an investigative photographer who's balls deep in debt, which always makes the best and most desperate paparazzis out there looking forward to climbing over celebrity fences to get a snap of them in the middle of their BDSM session. Debt will be cleared in no time at all. It does seem to have its charm, but maybe only charming to some people out there. I'd be willing to give it a shot despite how, the below average reviews that it got. There is a standard and collector's edition on Friday, and our executive producer Brent McLean, it's his pick of the week. Alright, the imports Play Asia territory. If you want to import any of the games shown here, then please consider using the Play Asia links below. Play Asia is always the #1 way to support us, and thank you ever so much. If you click our link, we earn a nice bit of cash, and we can support you as well. Because if you click our link and use our discount code SWTV23, you can get 5% off anything, any physical item from their website. Anyways, this week, Tristia Legacy and Restore Bundle Pack is finally happening in English this week. You may remember the Japanese release earlier this year. I told you it would have English, but then closer to release, it didn't have English. There was some not so great communication from the publisher. Well, it turns out that this week there's finally an Asian English version happening. Sadly, the Japanese version still ain't gonna have English added, and I'm not sure it ever will. But this Asian version is the way to go. It's 2 games in 1. Some old school crafting puzzle games look super charming because of course they do. You unlock CGs of girls in bikinis. Of course, it's wonderful. They look pretty simple, but I'm always up for quirky PS2 Japanese games, and this is exactly that. I'm not sure I'll be able to give a review, but I'll try my best. I'm really having some quite long health issues like these past month, and I also need to get Kirby finished and do other stuff, but keep an eye out, maybe it will happen. And remember to order the one that's linked in the description, don't buy the incorrect one, okay? And our executive producers Ozgolo and Issa have chosen this as their pick of the week. Telenet's Shooting Collection is the other shooting package this week, and I think a lot more people are excited about this one, despite it not having English. It's because this is a collection of 4 shooters that haven't seen much daylight elsewhere until now. 2 PC Engine games and 2 Mega Drive games, so obviously they're going to be pretty awesome. You get Granada, which was always my favorite Spanish city. Avenger, I'm not sure what happened to the others, I thought they were cool, now that Thanos is gone. Gaiares, which I can't make a joke about because that name is too shmup for its own good, and Psychic Storm, which I hear Mystic Meg goes on an absolute rampage. There's a standard edition of this and a collector's edition. There is no English, nor has there been mention of a Western physical release, but it could happen. Same thing happened with Valis, because it's the same publisher, and it's our executive producers Vey, Robotech, and Totally Grateful have chosen this as their pick of the week. And that's it for this week. Let's jump into the community spotlight. Firstly, I'm going to show off Bard's Gold from Red Arc Games. They sent me this ages ago, but I've only just got around to showing it off to you guys. This is a game where looks can be deceptive. I have to say I'm not a fan of the game's art style, nor the art style on the cover. None of it screams quality, but the game itself is actually pretty good to play. Not amazing, but it's quite a decent fun time if you're into platformers. It's about 5 or 6 hours long, which is a good thing for a game of this type. Modern indie platformers done in 2 and change. There are roguelike elements in here as well, and it's pretty old school in the fact that it throws you out to the sharks. I appreciate that. It believes in you to learn how to play yourself. And a nice touch is that the game is complete on cartridge. There is no update for it. And if you want this, check out Red Arc Games' website with the link in the description, and you can get a lovely 10% off with our code SWatch10. Just make sure you click our link first, and thanks to Red Arc Games for sending me this to show off to you guys. Alright, on to you lot. Andrew R sent in this picture showing off a few interesting games. In terms of sense, I'm actually in the middle of reviewing the sequel / spin-off, which is also a Play Asia exclusive physical, and you'll be sure to hear my thoughts on Thursday. I think that's the embargo. Our man in Japan, executive producer Vey, sent in this photo showing off both collector's editions of Draenus, and the double visual novel thing in the top left corner. That is a chunky old boy. It's full to the brim with CDs, mostly drama CDs, but there is a double soundtrack CD in there as well. Executive producer Instacritic sent in this photo showing off games like Demonica, which is from VGNY. You can get it from their website or from Video Games Plus. They also carry those games, especially for international buyers. Elissa sent in this photo of Monster Menu and Demon Gaze Extra, which eventually it came out. Took them quite a long time for that to happen, not entirely sure why, but it's supposed to be a pretty good dungeon crawler, so hopefully the wait was worth it. Lencho sent in this photo, looks like they picked up some games from VGP. And yeah, VGP do stock strictly limited games releases once in a while. Check the links below, you can find some that are sold out on their website. Executive producer Cartoon Soren picked up some class in Samurai Maiden, and of course, the lovely Final Fantasy collection. As expected, it is the biggest selling import of all time. Yes, it eclipsed Chrono Cross. It didn't take long to do that. And I thank you, all of you, greatly for those who supported us with purchase without links. Really does help us so much. Executive producer Alex M sent in this photo. Also looks like they shopped at VGP since they appear to have gotten the reprints of Trails of Cold Steel 3 and Liar Princess. Speaking of which, they are currently taking orders for reprints of Cold Steel 4, Azure, and Zero. So get on that if you've been wanting those. Gundam Wing Zero sent in this picture, obviously enjoying the Mega Man collection. I should probably give those a shot at some point. I've never been much of a Mega Man fan, but maybe the genre shift will work for me. I don't know. Mickey McFlynn sent in this photo showing off these games, another Demon Gaze, and something we don't see often, or something that's not even talked about at all, the Star Trek game. I'm not much of a Trekkie, but goddamn it, if any game with the Stargate name attached to it ever came out, I'd buy the hell out of that. Which, by the way, guys, if you guys ever helped me to become a billionaire, I would be the most philanthropic game publisher in history, I promise. You would have no idea what money I would waste and throw at just to make everyone happy. Shlomo sent in this photo showing off Inked. A lot of Red Hot game stuff this week. Is something in the water? That one looks especially cool with its biro-drawn art style. That Bloody Sadomasochist sent in this photo showing off a probably super expensive Ultra course from Strictly Limited. I think that was their either their first game or second game, so prices sky high. Needless Dragon sent in this photo showing off Mighty Goose. Totally forgot that existed. That's what happens when Limited Run have 3 or 4 distribution titles every week, making games less and less memorable one step at a time. Executive producer Punky Dooster did what he does best, showing us inside a card case. I remember I gave a mini jab at Limited Run for not waiting on Knights of the Old Republic 2 to get the promised DLC, but it turns out they just announced its cancellation. Not that Limited Run had any idea at that point, but still. Tweak E sent in his photo showing off these games. Disaster Report 4, a bit of a favourite of mine. Very much enjoyed the total jankies that game provided, something totally unique. Ashura G sent in this photo showing off The Fox Awaits Me, which Play Asia recently got some stock in. I know it was sold out for a good while and a stupid price, but last I checked it was back down to normal. Executive producer God of Resin sent in his usual super rare triple helping, alongside the much long-awaited Fight Crab with its North American release. And that's it, guys. No roundup this week because I didn't have enough photos. Although admittedly, something funny was going on on Twitter over the weekend, and none of the pictures that were sent to me on Twitter would actually load so I could save them, so it's probably missing like 4 or 5 pictures I usually get on there. Anyways, please send me pictures on Twitter if it works next week at SoWhatAboutGame. DM me, okay? And our email address, switchwatchspotlight@gmail.com, and our Discord, the server link is below. Alright, I'm feeling not so good. I don't know what's wrong with me this past month, but yeah, I'm totally off it, but whatever. Thanks to our executive producers Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Santa Tartaruga, Alexander Cato, JCross77776, Punky Dooster, Cartoon Soren, Robotech, Z, Raven Knight, Thorn, Metal Luna, Parsnip Coffee, Issa Vey, Mental Traveler, a phone. I almost said Grand Cert. Jennifer M, Instacritic, Precision Play, Kadacha, Osgolo, Totally Grateful, and Alex M. And you, yes. Thanks for watching. Even I think I'm getting a fever right at this second. If you watched all the way through, please leave me a sweat on, because I'm genuinely getting a sweat on right now. And I'm going to somehow edit this video in time for release. Yeah, we've got some stuff coming this week. We've got Sensors Midnight, the review, and maybe I'll do something else as well. And hopefully I can do more Kirby stuff. But at the minute, I think I need to go lay down. Alright? Take care.